Alright everyone, welcome back to another ByteBrew Unity tutorial, and we're going to be showing you guys how to implement a remote config and A/B test into your guys' Unity project and game. So let's go on and get started. First, let's set up a remote config in our ByteBrew dashboard. So as you can see, we're in continuation with our canned game Android game. If you guys want to learn how to integrate the ByteBrew SDK and set up your ByteBrew game, there will probably be a link in the top right corner, and you guys can go check out how to initialize ByteBrew inside your Unity game. But let's continue on in creating a remote config. As you guys know, a remote config gives you guys the ability to update your game without having to push a new update to the app stores. So let's go ahead and create a config. Let's make it a single config. We're going to be able to edit this as well as whenever we want to. It's not set in stone, so if you guys hit never, you guys will be able to go back and forth on it, or you guys can set up dates of whenever you want it to switch, or not switch, but whenever you guys want it to end, kind of like an event over the weekend maybe. So let's hit create, and boom, it's already going to be active because we set it to start right now. So let's head back into our main game scene in our Unity project, and what we're going to want to do is that we're going to want to head into our game script. And inside here, we just have a basic game script with a sprite for a button, red shot button, as well as a current score for a player and a goal score. As you can see back in our dashboard, we had it set up for player difficulty. So let's start in our code, and we already initialized the ByteBrew SDK. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to update the remote configs from within the script, as well as retrieve the config value from its key. So we're going to go and we're going to import the ByteBrew SDK again. And let's type out in our start method, ByteBrew dot remote configs updated. Now this is just an action handler of where it will tell us once the remote configs have been updated. And in here, let's retrieve the updated remote configs. Get remote config for key. Now the key that we had in the dashboard is player difficulty. So let's copy that key. Let's go back into our script, put that in, and we do require you to have a default value in case that there's no internet connection or that there is no remote configs that were updated. So let's just put as default as 35 because we know that this is for player difficulty. Now let's retrieve that difficulty. Alright, and so as you can see, we have a setup game difficulty method over here. So this is what we're going to want to apply it to. So let's just call setup game difficulty, and let's parse the string into an int. And there you go. You guys created your first remote config. As you can see, it was super simple. You go and you just create the config, and it will immediately start distributing towards the games. And it's just 4 lines of code. All you need to do is just update the remote config, retrieve the key for it, and then set it and do whatever you want with it. Now let's get into A/B testing. A/B testing gives you guys the ability, same thing like remote configs, to update your games remotely without pushing a new app to the App Store, as well as segment your users based off certain filters, as well as track KPIs of the different config keys and values that you gave to different users based off of your segmentation. So let's go and head over into A/B testing on our dashboard. And I already have one running, so we're going to utilize this one. But just to go over how you guys create an A/B test, you just go ahead and you hit create A/B test. You put the name of the test of what you want. The country filters, we have no filters right now because the game is not live. OS filters, a percentage of the amount of new users that you want to get affected by this. So if you had 100 users and you want it to be 50%, that means 50 downloads of those new users would be affected by this A/B test. The config key, as we know before, it's button color. And you guys can add different groups, either control group, which is always going to be set to a percentage, an even percentage that's across the amount of groups. And it will be put in with no value because this will be your control group that you'll be comparing against. So your input value will be whatever you want to put, and then you put a start date and an end date of when you want it, and your goal metric of what you want to be seen to change. So if we're doing a button color for shop, we might want to see difference in changes in our ARPU or ARPDAU. So let's go back into our dashboard. And as you saw that we have the A/B test set up, and believe it or not, the A/B test gets distributed like a remote config. And you guys need to make sure that you do set it up right for when a user is not part of an A/B test. So if we just set this up as the A/B test setting area, we want to retrieve the button color for our shop button. So let's just say color. And we want to retrieve the config key, config value for the key of button color, which is our A/B test back in our dashboard. The default value, if the user is not part of any A/B test, it won't distribute any value, so you will want to use your default value. The default value will be the gold button as we have now. And as you can see, we have a method for switch shop button. And let's go ahead and switch the shop button using the color. And there you go, you set up an A/B test. You guys are able to do whatever you want in the method that you're going to give it to, or you can handle it however you guys want it, but that's how an A/B test gets distributed. Save everything down, go back into your Unity scene, let everything compile, and there you guys go. You guys set up an A/B test and remote config within your Unity game using ByteBrew. Thank you guys for watching, and please continue on the tutorials that we'll be setting out for Unity. Hope to see you guys next time.